Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another episode. Um, we've kind of switched. I'm not anymore posting this on Fix Your Problems podcast, or maybe this will be the last time I post on there. I thought it might be good to kind of separate this from that. I'm gonna also try to record my voice a little bit further away from my face, so you guys can see my face a little bit better. As you can see, the view today is fucking impeccable. I'm here with my dog. Here with my dog Arvar. Sorry, you guys just see his ass. Um, we're on top of a mountain in Hjvlti, Iceland, at a family function. Today's emotion I want to talk about, I don't know why, but compassion. Compassion keeps popping up in my head. And I'm not just talking about compassion for others, I mean also compassion for yourself, towards you, and what you've done. Um, Excuse me while I try to get kind of comfortable here. I didn't know he was going to just lay on me. But I think it's so important, especially if you had kind of a turbulent teenagehood where you feel like you might have done others wrong, and I mean also compassion for others where you think that they did you wrong. Compassion was the thing that I just did not feel for a while, not for myself, not for anyone. I couldn't put myself in other shoes in any way, and thought about how they reacted and acted towards me and where that came from other people. So I want to kind of start on the outwards and then go towards the inwards, like I did on the last episode. Um, so compassion for others and what others have done to you. It's something that I kind of got better at with God and also through a drug which I'm not going to recommend anybody takes. Um, MDMA, clean MDMA, not some ecstasy pills. If you're ever going to do it, do buy a testing kit and always test it, and don't take it if it's some stupid shit. Um, Actually, funny story that I'm here and then kind of compassion keeps popping up in my head. Because I did acid a lot when I was younger, and it fucked me up. I went into a psychosis for a while. For about 2 months, I heard screaming voices and saw glitching faces for like whole 2 whole months. Just I heard screaming voices, and with that, and also Xanax, I just didn't feel compassion for anyone or for myself. It was just felt numb. But it wasn't until I took MDMA and started in delving in that a little bit more. By the way, if you do take it, like I said, buy a testing kit. Never take it within 2 to 3 months of each other, like of each time you're gonna take it. Always go into it with a healing mindset. Some people like to just do it as a party drug, and I mean, I'm not gonna stop anyone, but that is just my guidelines for it. Um, so yeah, compassion is a big emotion for me because I remember the time I took MDMA and I started feeling it again. I started crying. I started bawling my eyes out. The compassion I had for my mom, for the way I felt like for a while, like I was angry at her for the way that she would react towards me when I was maybe in my worst in my drug phase. But then when I took MDMA, it really opened my eyes to what I was doing to her and how she was reacting to it. You know, because to her, she just saw her little boy going down a path that she knew she couldn't really protect me from, or was at least trying to, but knew she didn't really have control of. And so obviously she's going to come at me in an angry way. And that wasn't to hurt me, it was to protect me, and to help me out. Um, and I just cried. I bawled my eyes out, man. Um, and I felt so bad that I was doing this to her son. It wasn't until, I mean, later that I really stopped doing drugs. Today it's day 201 of being sober, I believe, or 200, either 201 or 200. Um, but I didn't touch Xanax or nothing crazy, and I made sure that none of my drug related issues would ever find their way home. So my mom didn't have to deal with it. Um, but it felt so good to feel again, and it wasn't until then I was really able to just start feeling happy again as well. Um, yeah. But you have to also realize, that compassion outwards towards others is forgiveness as well. It's forgiving what you feel like. Because at the moment we're talking about outwards, I'm going to talk about inwards. So I'm not going to say and sit here, I'm some saint. But you have to forgive others for the doings you feel like they did to you in every way. Anything they did. You have to let go of it. Uh, and you just have to forgive them. Even I don't really talk about it, but I briefly mention it every now and then. Uh, I even forgive the person that raped me. You know what I mean? I have to. If I don't, that's something that's gonna, I'm gonna hold on to for a long time, and I don't want to do that. I want to let go. I don't want that to be something that defines me. So I just have to even forgive that in a very weird way, just to be able to feel happier in my day to day and then live with myself. I need to. Um, I don't want to get too personal on my family life, but you gotta forgive your parents as well. You gotta forgive friends as well. I had a friend once who, I don't know, maybe I made him sick of me, but at a very vulnerable time in my life, we were playing video games and I got kind of pissed off at something. He just said, "Oh, go cut yourself." At the time, I was, and I didn't talk to him for a very long time, and he would always choose other people over me. But I mean, now that I see him these days, I don't hold it against him, especially not for something that you do during your teenage years or your kid years. Uh, it's our first time in life, and those are the years you're trying out life. So you're gonna bump into walls, and you're gonna grow up, and you're gonna realize that that the stuff that you were doing then, if it was bullying or what it was, I hope that one day you grow out of it and you're like, fuck, I really had an impact like that on somebody else's life, and that's not good. And so I just have the belief that day will come for most people, and so I need to forgive them, to not hold that also against them, so they can grow and keep going. Um, when you turn to Christianity as well, God forgives you for all your sins. You have to forgive others for their sins as well, and you need to forgive yourself for all of your sins, for even the things you've never told anyone that might be deep down in you. If you don't have things like that, that's also fine. God doesn't test everyone like that. God loves his black sheep the most, and he tests his black sheep the most. Sorry, I don't see my dog. Oh, there he is. Just take a little circle. He tests his black sheep the most because he knows they need the most guidance. God is a shepherd, and if we're all sheep and all the sheep follow along, there's no need. One of my favorite stories I've said on the podcast is of and by the way, I don't know if this is true. I just heard this somewhere else, but it was Jesus. He was walking in a valley, and there's hills on both sides of him. He's walking with his flock, and one sheep, let's call him the black sheep. You might feel like you're the black sheep of the family. This sheep always wanders off and towards the hills. He never reaches the top of the hills, but he does this 2 times. But on the third time, Jesus snaps his legs and puts him on the back of his neck, keeps him right here. And you might think that's fucked up. Why would he snap his legs? Well, what the sheep doesn't know that on the other side of those hills there are wolves waiting to eat the sheep. You know, and that's just how it is. And if you feel like you've gone through life and you haven't had too many lessons or haven't had shit happening, it's because God just doesn't feel the need to test you. He might test you later in life when he feels like maybe it's time, but at the moment he doesn't feel like it's necessary. I hope my dog isn't completely in the way of my face, but I'm gonna let him do his thing. But yeah, it's one of my favorite stories, man, because I've often felt like I was a black sheep, if I'm gonna get personally, my sister is in college. I was never good at school. It wasn't just because of my drug related stuff. I just did not like school. I just didn't. I felt like I could learn everything online. If I really had interest in it, I would learn about it. I've always been like that. If I like really get an interest for something, I'll go all in on it. You know what I mean? I'll go deep into research. So I was like, if I really need any of this, I will. You know what I mean? I will learn about it. But I didn't feel like I didn't like getting forced into learning something. I just did not like that. I didn't fuck with it at all, not even a little bit. And so I kind of felt like a black sheep from that. And I was the first one in my family who really to get tattoos. Started drinking from a young age. Started smoking from a young age. Started doing different stuff than what my family is kind of used to doing. They played kind of safe, but I don't want their life, so I kind of feel like a black sheep. So that story really means a lot to me, because I felt tested by God a lot of times. I don't know if you can see my hat. I don't know if I'm facing it correctly, but there's the Jesus on it right here. I'm a big Jesus freak now. You got the cross on me always. Some people say that's idolization of having, or idol worship, having a cross on your neck, but I don't know. I like it. I feel like I have him close to me. Even without the cross, I would feel like I'm close to him. Um, that's one of the biggest lessons I learned from God, man. When I realized that He truly forgives me for everything I've done, I need to forgive everybody else. It gave me such peace. It gave me such calmness as well. Because I put a lot of trust in Him. I don't want this episode to just fully turn into a God thing, but God will teach me what I need to know and what I need to understand at the time I need to. And so I don't need to be stressing about nothing. And if I don't understand something or if I find something weird, that's okay. I don't have to lash out. If I'm supposed to be understanding of it and into it, God will make sure I am. Um, Compassion outwards, man. You have to forgive your parents. I know a lot of people, they hold on to resentment towards their parents for a lot of things. They feel like they weren't understood. They feel like they were supposed to be understood. Whatever it is, I'm hoping the this boom mic. Like I'm using this because I don't want the wind to fuck with the audio too much, and I'm hoping because there is a little bit of a breeze. Sorry, there's a hair. My dog goes out of hairs a lot. Uh, I'm hoping it blocks out the wind and you can hear me clearly. And I'm trying to hold it a little bit further from my face. Fidiki told me that I was holding a bit too close to my face. You can't really see it half the time. So I'm hoping that this is a little bit better. Um, oh, you wanna sit like that? That's fine. You can sit like that. Um, you have to just give compassion, man. We're all living for the first time on this earth. No, you don't gotta bark at me. You don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do that. I think he wants to. You want to play a little bit? You want to play a little bit? So you gotta have an off switch for your dog. If you don't have an off switch for your dog, then teach him right. Stop putting your ass on the screen. Hope you guys like the view. I love this place. I say it's funny to being here, and earlier I said it's like a full circle moment because I used to be at a summer house close hereby doing MDMA streams a lot. I don't condone it for anyone, but after doing acid so many times as a kid and really messing with me, I needed that. The sympathy and forgiveness I felt on those was really something I needed for myself. I'm very strict and very hard on myself, and so having that and feeling the love for myself that I do when I've been on that, I haven't now done it for quite a while. Like I think it's been 2 or 3 years now. Or this is the third year or 2 year. I don't remember, but yeah. Um, no, I think it's been 3 years, 4 years, something of like that. Not exactly sure, but it doesn't matter. I would do it very close by here. Um, and it really helped. It really helped with getting through depression and a bunch of other stuff and showing sympathy for myself. I'm not going to go into sympathy on the inwards quite yet, even though it kind of all relates to it. Uh, but I want to talk about sympathy on the outwards a little bit more, even though I'm feeling, as you can see, it's a bunch of filler words at this point. As I don't really have anything more in mind on the outwards part. it's quite simple, really. You need to show sympathy and forgiveness for what others have done to you. If you don't, you're gonna hold on to that, and that's gonna hold power over you for a long, long time. You're gonna have to forgive. You're gonna have to let go of it. So do that. And then I guess that also correlates on the inwards, man. Having sympathy for yourself. If you feel like you went through a time or you made some wrong decisions or something happened to you, just have to have sympathy, man. You have a lot of time. Gary Vee said, he was asking this guy who was trying to sell him shoes one time. He was like, "How old are you?" I think he said he was like, "Oh, I'm 23 or 24." He was like, "What are you doing, man? Like, you could do everything wrong for the next 10 years. You'd still be okay. You'd still be young. You still have time. There's no rush." And I feel, especially, and I think I touched on this on the last episode even, um, that we all have time, man. I mean, the medium time somebody becomes a millionaire, I think it's at 48. And first time buying a house is 38. And so if you're not there just because like the internet shows you a bunch of guys that are, kind of just want to keep an eye out on them. Don't want to run off on me. We're on a mountain. I don't want him to go too far. I mean, he's not gonna go too far, but at the same time, I just want to keep an eye out on him. I'll lower the volume when I whistle. I'm sorry about that. It's very loud. Where was I? Yeah, like even the internet shows you all these guys making it, and they're like 21 or they're 20 something. I mean, as long as you're starting and you're starting now and you're starting to put some steps in and some movement, you're good, brother. You're just in time. God will make sure it happens when it's supposed to happen. So if you feel like you're failing, I mean, the people that success, they fail the most. You don't gotta bark. Allt í lagi. 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 Why are you barking at me, big dog? He doesn't like it when I just sit down. He's not a big fan of that. Especially when he's tired on top of a mountain. I don't think he likes that too much. But you gotta just be calm, man. Like a hippie, man. You gotta just be calm. Gotta make sure it happens when it's supposed to happen. As long as you're taking moves, you're not sitting on your ass doing nothing, sitting in your room, smoking weed, just waiting for it to happen. That's not how it's gonna happen. You're gonna have to put in steps. You know what I mean? It's like that story, and I like analogies. I like analogies a lot, and it's like that story of the horseman in the foggy forest. You know, he doesn't see the next step. The horse doesn't see the next step, or it doesn't see the way out, but it sees that there's no branch in front of it, and it can keep moving forward. So it just keeps moving. It must get out of the forest at some point. If it at least just keeps moving and doesn't bump into trees, you know? So just keep moving, man. And if you bump into a tree, go around it. Take a left turn, take a right turn. Who cares? Just keep moving. That's all it's about. Keep praying, keep moving. God will make sure you get the presents when you're supposed to, and don't get discouraged and hateful if you go through something big and you're like, why me? That's the easy way to do it. And I've been there. It's easy to hate God and be like, why are you putting me through even more tribulations? Well, maybe He's preparing you for something even bigger, man. He needs you to be strong willed. So He's preparing you for something even bigger. So He needs you to go through that. So you just have to love the journey, man. You just really have to love the journey, show sympathy for yourself, and just keep moving. Um, I think we're just like 15 minutes maximum, maybe 10 even into this episode. But I not really don't have a lot of words for sympathy, honestly, anymore. Um, because it is really simple, man. I could go into more stories about my life that are all just gonna fall back into just have to forgive, but there's no need. There's no need. Um, let's talk about just life for a moment. Somewhere else, you know? You gotta enjoy the moments like this, where you're sitting on a mountain in one of the most beautiful places on fucking earth. I don't know if you can see, maybe I was blocking it, but if you can look inside the valley there and you can see all the fucking mountains. This flat land, this land must have been great for farming back in the day. Like if a Viking stumbled upon this, they would have been like, "Yo, this shit's sick." You have mountains all around protecting you. You have this clear valley where you can just sit and just watch over. That's beautiful. I might go kayaking later. I go kayaking here almost every year when we have this family gathering. It's nice water. The water is cold, but not like super cold. Like you get used to it after a while if you are in it. Um, Last night I went to the sauna with my cousins, the brothers, and I mean that as in uh, the oldest brother is my age and the two are younger. Not that they are black. That's not what I meant by brothers. Um, it was nice sitting with them there, just talking shit. It was nice. I mean, the old people were like coming in and checking on us, and of course letting out the heat from the sauna, which fucking sucked. But it's what it is. It's what it is. I love being here, man. This is my favorite week of the year almost. On Wednesday I'm going to Boston, so next episode is gonna be in Boston. Gonna be meeting up with my friend Robert Violisi. I don't know if he'll be on the episode, but I'll be in Marshfield recording that episode. Marshfield, Massachusetts. Beautiful place, right by the water. He lives right by the water. We're gonna have some fun. We might go fishing, so maybe I'll record some B-roll of that. I'm not really big on taking my phone out when I'm not sitting down and doing this. I like this is like my moment, Like I take my equipment with me. I go down and I sit and I'm on my phone. I don't really like doing that too often if I'm not gonna be doing this. I like being in the moment, which is not necessarily good if you want to be a content creator because you're supposed to be recording your experiences, right? Like this would be cool if there were B-roll of the shit that I do, because the week after that, then I'm going back to New York. I'm traveling a lot, and then in September, I have a whole month off as well, so I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna be going somewhere. Maybe it's just New York again. I really like New York, so. But I'm excited for Boston this week, man. I really am. I'm gonna go fishing, maybe shoot some guns, go to the gym, maybe surf. Robert was he was a surf instructor at one point. I lived with Robert actually when I was in the States for a bit a couple of years ago, and I was doing some business. Uh, we found out he's just born like one day either before me or after me. I think one day before me. I think it's on the 1st of August, and I'm on the 2nd. And so we kind of made a cool connection. Uh, Funny thing is, I thought he was a little bit annoying first. I just didn't understand his energy. That's all. He's like a Boston guy, American football, or no, he was in lacrosse and American football, that just wasn't who I was. I'm a bit of a nerd. I mean, I was in sports when I was younger, but I was also in big band, playing on drumming instruments. So I really like the drums, but it's a little bit different. But at the same time, the familiarity that we have and the understanding that we have is great. He's one of my better friends, and I'm excited to see him. I haven't seen him since we were in Florence last year. I recommend everybody goes to Florence sometime. It is so beautiful there. It's where Assassin's Creed, I think 1 or 2 happens. So if you played those games, you gotta go there. Stop barking, you asshole. Stop barking, you asshole. So you gotta go there if you play those games. It's sick. You can be at like the Basilisk. I think it's called Basilisk or Basilica in the middle of the town, and you're like, wait, I jumped on all these buildings. I was jumping between these fucking houses here on this one mission. Stop being an asshole, all right? Stop being an asshole. It's all right. Yeah, there you go. I know you're tired. We'll go back down once I'm done with this. That's some life stuff. Um, I have a little business opportunity that came up. We'll see how that goes. Um, I was putting every single week a little bit more money in both crypto, index fund, a little bit into gold. You know, I was doing that weekly, but I'm gonna take a break for the next 3 weeks. No, 3 months. I'm waiting until we are 364 days from the highest of the crypto market from Bitcoin, and then I'll start again. And then I'll start rolling it back in. I know we're at a pretty much of a low, but historically, I think it was 364 days after each high, then we're back at our low, and then it takes about 1,094 days until we're back to our highs. So I'm gonna start doing that again once we're there, and then after the next bull run, I'm gonna sell all of my crypto. Most likely all of my crypto. Maybe I'll keep, you know, like some Ethereum, some Solana, maybe some Bitcoin, but I'm gonna be selling most of my other stuff at least. I have some in weird stuff, so I'm gonna keep that until then and then sell it. Mostly just to make back what I've lost. But if my investments through the 1,094 days after 364 days from our high, why those specifically? Google it. Historically, that's just where the cycle goes. I think it was 364 days from the high, it goes to the lowest it's been, and then it takes about 1,094 days until it's right back to its high, and it's done that 4 times now or 3 times now. If I remember correctly, I saw a very good graph not so long ago that showed exactly that, like almost on repeat. So I'm gonna be just following the rule book. There's no need to change that. Hope we're still recording and everything is being recorded. Yeah. Let's enjoy this view for a little bit, guys. I'm sorry, we just want to sit in silence for a little bit. So you gotta enjoy these small moments in life, the quietness, and just sometimes sit in it. You know, I'm on a mountain with my dog, Örvar. He's been playing around. He's been having so much fun. There's another dog here at the family function. They were just playing the entire time. The funny thing is, he's neutered, and the other dog is as well. The other dog is a female dog, but he keeps trying to hump. Maybe that's just the way he likes to play, but it gets a little bit embarrassing, just a little bit. But the other, well, I mean, my uncle owns the other dog, and he understands that, so it's just like he finds it a little funny too. But it's still awkward because it's like, dude, why you gotta be doing that, you know? Again, okay, let me stand up and see my dog. Oh, I see him there. All right. I think I'm sitting, yeah, right here. So we're at 27 minutes, so I'm not gonna keep it much longer than that. Other fun stuff in life. I don't know. I just feel so good, man. I really do. I feel amazing these days. And that comes back to the compassion part and just trusting into God, is that I'm not stressed about anything anymore. Not anything. I don't feel really jealousy too much. And every now and then I'll feel it. Jealousy for things. No, I mean, if anything happens, it was meant to happen, and then that's something God just wanted me to learn from and keep moving from. So I trust that He is making me stronger that way and giving me a calmness of mind. Maybe that scary is trying to give me this much calmness because maybe something crazy is about to happen. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit in the world right now, and you can't be stressing too much about it. I feel like stressing too much about stuff that's uh, not directly on your life, like outward things, like worldly things, political wise, if it's not within your own country, and stuff like that. I feel like it's almost a luxury because there's a lot of people out in this world that just don't have time and don't have even the brain power to be thinking about that stuff. They need to just be focusing on the day to day, making sure I have food from the family for the family, or taking care of something else. You know what I mean? Like taking care of a family member. They don't have time to really be focusing on all these things so outwardly of themselves. So I feel like it's a luxury these days that people um, do a bit too much of. Because what really matters is your day to day. That matters, and you making sure that you're doing better today than you were doing yesterday. Every day is a better day. You have to think of it that way. Every day is a better day, and every day is another opportunity to make things better. Even though if you feel like not doing too much today, that's all right. Relax. Get prepared for the day after. Just make sure that you're not doing it in the way that you're like, I feel so sad I'm not doing nothing, Because that would just create a bad day where you feel unaccomplished. At least get one win in today. At least one. I don't know if it is doing 40 push-ups.
You know, if you feel like that's a win, go for it. If it's walking on a mountain, whatever it is, get one win in today. You can be relaxed and get a win in. You know what I mean? I don't know, hit your water goal for the day of drinking enough water. Whatever it is. Get that's going to be the challenge for the week. Just get one good win in every day. Wake up on time for work every single day of this week. That's a win. If you're a big oversleeper like I sometimes am, because my sleep can get kind of irregular, uh, make sure that you're waking up every single day on time for work, and that's a win. That is a win. Wins big or small, you have to just take it as a win. Excuse me. You know, go climbing on a mountain. Go out. Go to the swimming pool. I don't know. Do something that takes you a little bit out of the box too. If you're a person that likes to just stay inside and keep to themselves, you know, I'm not saying you have to go to the swimming pool and start talking to the old people at the hot tub. You know what I mean? Like, but just go out. Don't stay in the house for a little bit. Walk around the neighborhood. Go to a bakery. I don't know. Something a little bit different. Something that needs you to put a little bit more power and intensity into it than usual. Life is not supposed to be comfortable. Not too comfortable, at least. But you can be comfortable in the uncomfortable, if that makes sense. You know? Like, even doing this and going public on my Instagram feels a little bit out of my comfort zone. I like keeping things very private. I don't post a lot on my Instagram, but I feel like this is something that God has been calling on me to do, so I need to do it. I need to do it. Or else I'll feel like I'm not doing something that God has been screaming at me to do, because I feel like sometimes He is screaming at me, you need to start just talking. And I kind of allow him and my thoughts to kind of dictate what I talk about in these episodes. That's why compassion came up when I was walking up on this mountain. I was thinking about talking about love and love for others, and just love as a feeling, and how important it is. And I feel like a lot of guys my age, because of one bad relationship or something, have really just closed down on it. Like I see this quote online sometimes, which is I feel like it's like peak goy slop. And that is like, God, if I'm not meant to love, please take my longing of love or something away from me. You're meant to love, man. We're beings made to love. Love thyself and love others. Love what you do, whatever it is. You can love it, man. Even if you feel like you're not in a place where you want to be, you can still love it every day. You know, I really like working for myself and having myself as a boss, or working in a startup. Those are my favorite things to do. But I work for a regular company at the moment doing regular shit, but I love it. I find little things in it that I really do like. I found a job which challenges something that I really like, which is being private and not having conversations with too many people and staying in my own bubble. And I found a job where I need to interact with so many people on the daily, but it's given me so many moments of pure joy of the interactions that I've had with those people. You know, if it's because I work in a service job where I need to service people. I'm not gonna talk about it directly. I mean, if you listen to Fix Your Problems podcast, you will know maybe a little bit more. But I need to interact with so many people there, and they sometimes come up and they're just hilarious. I take everyone as a like I'm in a play, and this is just a character that comes up in the play. They might have a weird backstory. They might have weird notion, and I have people come up to me like, "Hey, all right, I'm gonna have an issue." It's like, all right, great way to start this, but I just have a smile on my face. Like, let's get into it. Ooh, a fun win I just came into my head is that I was taken for a random drug test at work, and my boss knows that I am sober now. Oh, there's a spider on me. Knows that I'm sober now and have been working on that. And she calls me in and she's like, "Yo, Hjvlti, I know you're kind of working on it. Maybe this, like, you don't necessarily want to do this right now, and this might feel hard to do, but you were chosen for a random drug test. A lot of people were. I've been working there for 3 years now, and I've never been chosen, so it was inevitable, you know. And so she was like, I'm really sorry. I just had a smile on my face. I was like, no, this is amazing. Like, I'm actually for the first time in my life sober for more than 2 months since I was 17. Like, I think it was December 2018 where I started smoking every single day. I had been, doing some drugs here and there, had a little Xanax binge, stuff like that. But like every day, December 2018. Don't remember the exact date, but December 2018, and then I quit smoking December 2025. Almost exactly, wow, 7 years. 7 years of every single day. Um, but I went into that. It was first a breathalyzer, just to make sure I wasn't like drinking on the job. Obviously, past that, I don't drink. Never been too much of a big drinker, anyways. Except for like when I would drink a lot. So I just was always a little bit too drunk if I would drink. So I just quit drinking. But with the weed, oh, did I crush the spider? That was an accident. Oops. You shouldn't have gone there, buddy. Um, but I peed, and he looked at it and he was like, "Oh, you're clean." It was kind of funny that I was told to go into this other room when I was done peeing. Like, hey, when you're done peeing in the cup, go to like, here's the bathroom. When you're done peeing, you go into this room or you wait outside the room. I was waiting outside it, and the guy pops out his head and he's like, "Is the other guy available?" I was like, "No, I think he's busy with somebody else." He's like, "Fuck." Uh, quickly grabs my cup, checks it out. He's like, "Oh, you're clean." I was like, "Okay," but I knew there was another guy in there, so I'm guessing that guy wasn't as lucky as I am. Maybe that will be a wake up call for him. Who knows? I think my dog's getting sick of me just sitting here, so I might have to just wrap this up. Um, yow 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 yow. Let me see. Maybe I'll give you guys a little bit of a view here before we end off the episode. Uh, I think I can see some of my family members are driving. They're maybe gonna go pick up a part of the family. A part of the family went on a walk. I decided to not go and do this instead because I felt like this was more important and I can edit here really quickly and get this out. I need to pee as well. But I'm gonna come to the camera and give you guys a little bit of a more funny view of everything here. Oh wait, hey Firike, ja Firike. I accidentally bumped into my dog. Allt i lei. Maybe I can zoom in while it's recording. Yeah, I can. Okay. See, it's this valley here. Fucking beautiful. I like slowly turn the camera while I talk. Cause there's a little like waterfall. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Yeah, it picks it up. Oh, wrong way. That's like inverted axis on this fucking DJI Osmo thing. Stabilizer. You can see it's like a waterfall right there. Very nice. Very nice. And these beautiful mountains. I think my dog saw a rjupa. It's called a weewo, I think, in American. He hates them. Completely hates them. But yeah, I'm gonna be here, going home tomorrow. Um, just to end the episode off, so it doesn't get too far, because he would run forever after that thing. Oh, he's super far away. Anyways, I'm gonna put this back down and gonna say goodbye to you guys. Let's see, places over here. Zoom back out. So, guys, thank you for today's episode. I hope you took something from it. If you didn't, that's fine too. If you didn't get to the end of the episode, that's fine too. Just keep doing better. Do better, guys.